Dare I even mention this? You know what, fuck it. 727 rinsed the hell out of the song, okay? When you see it, when you fucking see it, yeah? Fuck off. Osu is one of the most popular rhythm games of all time at this point, if not the most popular. The game has over 15 million registered users, and on average there are about 30,000 users playing concurrently as we speak. The game has been around for a while though. In fact, Osu was first released in 2007, and since then, millions, perhaps even billions of beat maps have been created in the span of its existence. Some of these maps have stood out above the rest, with some maps becoming infamous for its difficulty, some being recognized as innovations in mapping, some being known for just a song, or all of the above. A small handful of these songs were collaged into the L.A.O.S Memories compilation by someone called Sakis in 2016, and to be honest, I think the list of songs used here is the closest thing we'll have to an official L.A.O.S soundtrack. These songs right here are what have defined L.A.O.S for the past several years, and while they've all gained love from the community at large, it seems no one has really taken the time to put these songs to the test, which is why I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to get my thoughts about every song in L.A.O.S Memories off my chest, rating each song featured out of 10, and giving my unfiltered opinion about the track as a whole. A song, by the way, not map. This is mainly just for fun, and to give you guys an idea of my taste in music, especially for a channel that focuses so much on that aspect. There are 31 songs total featured in L.A.O.S Memories, so theoretically if every song got a 10, the maximum rating L.A.O.S Memories as a whole can get is 310. For this to be deemed a good listen, it has to get at least 70%. How far do you think we can get to that target by the end of this? Stick around to find out. Oh, and I should probably reinforce this, purely my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. And not gonna lie, it'd make my day to see some flames in the comment sections about some of the ratings, because I know damn well some of these will be controversial. So just like I'll be saying my unfiltered opinion, feel free to say yours too, just don't be a dickhead. Alright, let's get started.
Welcome to us.
Oh, this reminds me, even though it's not exactly part of L.A.O.S Memories, I gotta say it man. No disrespect to my guy Nekokan, you make some pretty good stuff, but the old L.A.O.S theme, that was 10 times better. I think this was much more iconic to Osu, and to be honest, I can't really put into words why. I guess the best way to provide reasoning is, less is more. Oh, and sometimes I'd rather not open Osu at 2 AM to be blasted by this loud ass EDM music, as good as that can be sometimes. Alright, let's start for real. Say what you want about Sword Art Online, because trust me, I understand. But if there's one thing I love about the series, it's definitely their openings. They got Cross and Field, Innocence, and well, Ignite is definitely not an exception when it comes to the list of jams they have. The chorus is so damn good, and it goes even better with some visuals from the anime itself. Definitely one of the better openings out of the millions ever mapped on L.A.O.S. Only the intro to the song is played, but having a quick look at the full version, it's not bad I guess, but it sounds a bit too generic for my taste. Yeah, I don't think I need to say too much about this. The vocals are on point, she has a mad flow when she's spitting, and of course the chorus, catchy as all hell. I feel kinda bad though. See, one thing you have to realize about some of these Japanese YouTube MVs is that it's all fun and games and rainbows and butterflies until you try to understand what the song actually means. Let me just turn on captions on the official video and read a few lines. Slowly and gently it crumbles and breaks. Wrap it slowly around my neck until I can't breathe. And the me from yesterday was killed. I know it's like a metaphor type thing, but damn, that is darker than I expected. Especially for a song that sounds not that happy, but also not that sad. I might talk about this kind of stuff in a future video, because this is a very common pattern that I see, especially when it comes to Vocaloid. But regardless, this is an amazing tune. Not quite a 10 in my opinion, but it definitely deserves a 9. I guess we gotta talk about Pensamento. I will not lie to you. When I first heard this, I was genuinely confused why this was even considered. It seemed like the most random song to map, and it just sounded like straight garbage. But I've heard it 100 different times now, and I have to say it does kinda bang, especially when it's sped up. In all honesty, the first minute or so is just static. Like no one really cares about that. No. What really carries the song is the drop. You already know what I'm on about. Something about this is just so satisfying, and I feel like the L.A.O.S beat map for it brought my appreciation up for this tenfold. Still only get to 5 though, so you wouldn't catch me dead bumping this. I don't understand why I love this song so much. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for descending chord progressions, or maybe it's because of that high-pitched anime voice. I genuinely can't explain it. It just sounds so good. Not to mention the sick synth solo about 3/4 in, and man, I just can't stop listening to this part right here. Yep, that's an easy 9 for me. The only reason this isn't a 10 for me is because the verses are a bit boring compared to everything else. So yeah. Ugh, for fuck's sake. Not gonna lie though, this song is hype as hell. Listening to the chorus makes me want to get up and do some shit I didn't even know I had in me. This is probably also the most catchy song on this list, by far. And it doesn't help that that same melody is repeated for basically 3 minutes straight. Oh wait, is it recording? Anyways, this is 6. I don't like the repetition and the song is a bit much for me, I guess. But for the first minute or so, it actually kinda hits. The guitar in this part is pretty fucking sick. But unfortunately, the actual song itself just isn't that remarkable for me. It's alright, I guess. That's a 5 for me. The funniest thing about this is, whoever wrote this song got his ass beat so bad by Airman that he had to write an entire song ranting about it. Actually, who was the person that originally wrote this? Well, it turns out the original song comes from someone called Sarah McCarrow, who uploaded a chiptune karaoke version on Nico in 2007. Supposedly this wasn't even where the original lyrics came from though. It seems like it came from some forum that I can't find anywhere, so we'll never see where it truly came from, but this is the oldest record we have of it. Team Nekokan then took it on themselves to create the version we all know and love today. For a song that sounds so ridiculously epic, I thought this would be talking about how much of a badass Airman is, or how overpowered he is. Well, I guess the latter kinda is true. It is about how overpowered he is. Regardless, I love the energy of this track. It's an 8 for me. Yeah, it sounds nice and all, respect where it's due, but it's not my cup of tea. Not that memorable for me either. It's like a 3 for me. Honestly, this is a cult classic when it comes to Toho remixes. That little girl is trying to become the new rap god with how fast she's going. And the instrumental sounds pretty cool. I love the synths. And it's catchy. Probably the only thing on planet Earth that will have me unironically saying baka. But, hear me out on this. I do think it's a little overrated. I know. We all love Kurno, we all love tomboys. Yeah. It's just, other than it being catchy as hell, it's just not that strong, you know? Like, it doesn't give me that feeling of satisfaction. Sorry, but it's a 5 from me. Considering Leaf is who I plan on doing my next history video on, this is being covered a little early. Needless to say, this is definitely one of my favorites from her. The song has what's probably one of my favorite introductions, and it had me hooked as soon as I started listening. The seemingly happy-go-lucky melody, combined with the chaotic drums in the background, is a contrast that goes together pretty well, and it's an interesting nod to the title, which are actually two opposites put together, even though there's a lot of repetition in the song. With the way it's mastered, it feels like every section is different, whether it's just by adding a little period of silence, or just a small panning of the headphones to the left or to the right. Not to mention the ending, which turns this into this. Yeah, I think it's safe to say it deserves a 10. I've mentioned this in my history video aside, but never actually said my thoughts of the song. I really like the main melody of the song, and the chorus is pretty insane. It almost feels like I can feel myself soaring in the skies when I listen to it. And the transition into it is so clean, but sometimes it feels kinda, I don't know, empty? Particularly the verses, where it's pretty much just cakes throughout, though it does develop a bit later on. Not to mention... dare I even mention this? You know what, fuck it. 727 rinsed the hell out of the song, okay? When you fucking see it, yeah? Fuck off. It feels like an entire generation of AO players has had their IQ reduced to minus 727 with how hard this has been shoehorned into every single little thing. Ironically enough, I'm rating this a 7. Don't you dare make a comment about fucking seeing it, or you'll be seeing your comment get deleted. My love. I remember when I first downloaded those, and hearing this song thinking, is this a pop song? I feel like I've heard it on radio before. Little did I know, unfortunately this is nowhere near pop culture level, and this is easily one of the most underrated songs I've ever heard. I'll be honest, the lyrics aren't anything special, but come on now. The vocals are fucking clean, the build up is amazing, and the chorus? Well, I believe it speaks for itself. You're tweaking if you think I'm not giving this at least a 9. It loses 1 point because of the lyrics. I'll do ya every night. Low-key makes me crack up every time I hear it. It's a shame that AO removed it from the starter pack of songs though, because it's still a masterpiece. Damn, it's just one banger after another, isn't it? Another Toho remix comes to take a top spot on the leaderboard. That melody gives me goosebumps every time. Summerjin, the person who arranged the track, made a great call to slow it down, and more importantly, simplify it from the original. Like I said in the beginning, sometimes less is more. With some amazing sound design, A damn near perfect song structure that allows the song to flow beautifully from start to finish, and the vocals, which are some of the best I've heard from a doujin circle, coming from someone called Firefly. This is easily one of the best songs I've ever been recommended on AKINO. Halozy has some true talent in their circle, no doubt. I feel like you either love the song or really fucking hate it. And to be honest, I really fucking hate it. Not that it was always like this. I actually used to enjoy watching the lyric video to this, since it really boosted my appreciation for every element of the track. But I kinda rinsed it from playing it all the time. And the meme. You know the copy pasta I'm talking about. To be honest, on like 727, this meme was actually kinda decent, but it got boring after a while. And so did the song, I guess. But that's definitely not to say it's a bad song, so it gets a 5 from me. Oh my days. Arguably one of the worst openings to be produced from JoJo, but the standard for JoJo openings are incredibly high anyways. I mean, we have Bloody Stream and Fighting Gold in the roster, so songs that are made like this, they don't stand a chance. But this is still miles above any of the other generic anime TV sizes that are on those, so credit where credit is due. Also, I really love this bit, so I'll give it a 6. At first glance, this is like any other anime hardcore remix, but something about this, along with the original opening actually, just feels different. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I like it, and generally speaking, it's just a hype track. 7. I wish I could go back to when I first heard this. I was watching the 8-bit drummer's cover of Those Memories, and he got to the song and I was like, damn, not only did he nail that section, but this song sounds amazing. And well, this is easily one of the best drum and bass songs I listened to. Absolutely love the usage of the voice samples. One thing I will say is that this bit just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. It feels a bit out of place, I don't know. Still giving it a 9 though. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who unironically likes this song? I actually quite like speedcore when it's done well, but man, this is just obnoxious to listen to. I know that was probably one of the goals of the Quick Brown Fox while making this. Anything big and black is likely to be obnoxious, which is why it confuses me that so many people out there genuinely enjoy this. And even more so, that anyone in their right mind would grind day in, day out for an SS on a song like this, you insane bastard. Anyways, the only redeeming factor of this song for me is the voice sample, so that's like a 2 bruh. Pretty decent vocaloid track. I really like the chorus and that little woo. It brings the energy to a different level for me every time. It's not really something that's memorable for me though, and no offense is meant by this, but sometimes the voice puts me off. It's mid at least though. I don't think it could sound any more like a generic anime TV size than this. Not gonna lie, I'm a pretty big sucker for Eurobeat. I'm also a pretty big sucker for Toho, so when you combine them, it's a guaranteed I'm gonna like it. Wouldn't say it's a banger, but it's definitely a fun listen. One of my favorite anime openings of all time. I'm not gonna lie, the anime itself was kinda weird, but it was all worth it because I got to listen to this every episode. I don't know if it's just me though, but at the end of the TV size, when it's looping the final time, it seems to go slightly off time for like a split second, and it kinda just throws me off every time I listen to it. No, just me? Fair enough, I'll give it a 9 then. That transition. Sakis, you know what you're doing. This is one of those songs I fell in love with instantly when I first heard it. All I have to say is tiebreaker, and you should know why that is. Seeing how intense that tiebreaker was what got me into actually watching tournaments, and it's what inspired me to keep playing until I too could also play in the World Cup. And this song right here is half the reason it was so intense and fun to watch. Honestly, without a doubt, the best hardcore track I've ever heard. If you're sitting there like, huh? Is it really that good? I beg you go listen to it again, or go watch that infamous tiebreaker. This isn't even a 10. It deserves an extra credit. 11 it is. Let's be honest here, DragonForce is like the baby of metal. Every song from them manages to sound the exact same, but also sound completely different at the same time. I literally cannot explain what I meant if I wanted to, but I'm sure some people out there know what I mean. If I were to make a tier list of DragonForce songs though, out of the ones I've listened to, Cry Thunder is easily one of the best I've listened to. That march rhythm makes you feel like you could fight an entire war by yourself. And man, the chorus is just legendary. Not to mention the guitar solo, Jesus Christ. Of course I'm giving this a 10. Oh boy, where do we even start with this masterpiece? The violins, the vocals, the guitar, the breakdown to the piano, only for it to drop another solo on us out of nowhere. At this point, even the intro is enough to have me hooked. The whole thing is just a pure roller coaster, man. Probably one of the best tracks I've ever heard from a rhythm game, and just like Furioso, I fell in love with it as soon as I heard it. This deserves extra credit. Fun fact, it took me 6 years to realize that this is actually a remix of Flower Night. I guess it was just done so well that it never even occurred to me, even though the background is literally Sakuya herself. Anyways, I mean, do I even have to say anything about this? Just listen to the solo right here. Yeah, give it up for the 4th 10+ rating in a row. What the hell? hell is this? That is some creative genius if I do say so myself. Let's talk about Highscore first. Did you know Panda Eyes was 19 and Teminite was 16 when this song was released on Dubstep Gutter in 2014? How the hell were these two able to create something this good? I mean, already this is way different than your usual dubstep that you normally find on things like Dubstep Gutter. In fact, I believe the proper genre classification of this is moonbackcore, according to this guy right here, which after listening to some of that myself seems pretty accurate. It's far more melodic, far less repetitive, and far higher quality of its composition and structure. This is another song that speaks for itself, and it definitely deserves the extra credit. What the hell is this? Sorry, but this is the worst thing I've heard in a while. It doesn't sound that bad when combined with Highscore, but by itself, thanks for reminding me that The Big Black is one of the better speedcore tracks, and that got a 2. You're lucky I'm being nice and giving this a 0. I could have gone far worse wearing off for the first minute and 10 seconds of calmness. Yes, you heard that right. It takes 1 minute 10 seconds for the actual song to start. You know what? Nah, fuck that. For wasting my time, this is dropping into the negatives. And finally we have Freedom Dive, the anthem of L.A.O.S, or dare I say the anthem of any modern rhythm game. Again, just like Blue Zenith, I've talked a little bit about the old version of Freedom Dive in my side history video, but I never said my thoughts on the song. You already know it's goated. Whenever I take a second to actually pay attention to the complexity of the melody being played, it literally just boggles my mind. How can Sai even think of this stuff? I'm convinced he's some kind of musical genius because this isn't human, yet barely anyone outside of rhythm games knows his name. But I'm giving this a 7. Okay, wait. The only reason for this being that it's not exactly my cup of tea, even though it's an exceptionally composed song. And also because compared to the other stuff he's done, I think this is incredibly overrated.
See you next time.
Wait a second. Blue Zenith got a 7, Freedom Dive got a 7, and in this video there were 2 songs from Sai. That was actually pretty fun. The rankings for the songs can be found in the description, but it looks like in total we got 218 points out of 310, which is just over 70%, literally by the skin of the teeth. So L.A.O.S Memories as a whole is a good listen, even more so thanks to the masterful mastering and mixing of Saka's. Amazing work from him, as always, and this is more important than ever now since this is a new style of video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe as well. Oh, and stay put for the leave video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in a bit.